That's Mark Owen. It's called Magic. Coming up next hour in the socials, Bill Turnbull. The showbiz, where we've got Eddie Murphy and Harry Styles and Drag Race UK. There's, let's have a look. We got Janie and Tim and Bobby Pryor, of course, and Jason Kay, Shoujo on Sport, the Factoids, and Claire Grogan, our guest. United Kingdom and streaming across the world. This is BBC Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app on your smart speaker and on 88 and 91 FM.
With the BBC News at 4 o'clock, this is Jason Kay. Police investigating the fatal shooting of 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Corbell in Liverpool have revealed that 2 guns were used in the attack. They've also released CCTV footage of the gunman dressed in a hooded jacket and black balaclava running from the scene in the Dovecote area 10 days ago. 2 men arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder have been bailed. Tributes have been paid to the former BBC Breakfast presenter and journalist Bill Turnbull, who's died at the age of 66. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer nearly 5 years ago and campaigned to raise awareness of the disease in his final years. His longtime co-presenter Louise Minchin said he'd saved lives. Charlie State was hosting the programme with Naga Munchetty this morning when news of Bill Turnbull's death was announced.
He was a wise head. He didn't take himself too seriously when he sat here, which is a great combination. Yeah, one side of it, of course, is the professional side that we all knew well, but the most important thing this morning, of course, is his family. So we wish them all the best.
Boris Johnson has announced the government will invest £700 million in a new nuclear power plant on the Suffolk coast. Sizewell C is part of a drive to improve the UK's energy security. There are worries that Russia's invasion of Ukraine could disrupt the UK's gas and electricity supplies this winter. The Conservative leadership candidate Liz Truss has ruled out imposing energy rationing should she move into number 10. But Catherine Porter from the consultancy Watt Logic doesn't think Ms Truss will have much of a say.
If there's not enough generation to meet demand, then either you have rationing or you have blackouts. And the problem with blackouts is that they affect everybody. And clearly there's a hope that important infrastructure such as hospitals will have backup generation on site they can use. But I don't think National Grid is going to sit there and just allow blackouts to happen because Liz Truss said that she doesn't want to have rationing.
Inspectors with the UN's nuclear watchdog have been spotted leaving the Zaporizhzhia power plant in Ukraine following a brief visit. The delegation's leader, Rafael Grossi, told reporters he saw what he needed to see. There were fears that fighting near the Russian-occupied facility could lead to a catastrophe at the site. Our correspondent in Kiev, James Waterhouse, explained what Mr Grossi wanted to achieve with the inspection.
He has said in the past he's very keen to establish the power supply to make sure it is sufficient. He also wants to, in his words, speak candidly with staff who have described being kept at gunpoint, seeing colleagues kidnapped on an almost daily basis. He wants to establish what it is like for them to work there, how much freedom they have, what exactly are the stress levels that they're dealing with.
A stowaway squirrel has landed unexpectedly in Aberdeen after a 3-week journey on a ship from as far afield as India. The palm squirrel, nicknamed Zippy because of its speedy manoeuvres, is being cared for by an animal rescue charity. It's looking for a British zoo that can give him a home among fellow 3-striped palm squirrels. And that's the BBC News at 3 minutes past 4.
Oh, smashing, thank you. Sport now, here's Shoujo Saka.
Good afternoon, Steve. It's been a busy transfer deadline day in football already. Among the deals, Manchester United have signed Ajax winger Antony for £82 million. Switzerland defender Manuel Akanji has joined Manchester City from Borussia Dortmund. Liverpool are close to loaning the Juventus midfielder Artur. And some reports are linking the Barcelona striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with a move to Chelsea. The Welsh decathlete Ben Gregory has taken his first breaths without assistance since being involved in a serious bike crash. The 31-year-old has been in a coma since the incident last month, which left him with a fractured skull and neck and a brain hemorrhage. And the British number one Cameron Norrie will play Portugal's João Sousa in the second round of the US Open tennis later. Fellow Brit Dan Evans is taking on Australia's Jack Duckworth. However, one of the biggest talking points in New York has once again been Nick Kyrgios. The Wimbledon runner-up did win his second round match, but in the middle of it, he complained to the umpire that a fan was smoking marijuana.
Thank you very much.
Steve Wright in the afternoon.
Summer 2022.
It's the big show.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control.